If you just came into a lot of money, congratulations. But now you're facing a bigger challenge, which is keeping it. Most people believe that immediately when you become rich, life is good. But it can open up a door to many other problems if you don't set yourself up correctly. A 2009 study from Sports Illustrated discovered that 78% of NFL players have gone bankrupt or faced financial stress after being retired for just 2 years. And nearly 1/3 of lottery winners eventually go bankrupt after between 3 to 5 years, according to the Certified Financial Planner Board of Standards. So you need to protect yourself from possibly losing what you've earned. So before we dive right in, I should quickly introduce myself. My name is Daniel O'Loughlin, and I've over a decade of experience in the investment management world. Before founding Seneca Private, I was an investment analyst at S&P Global. I hold a master's in finance. I'm a chartered alternative investment analyst. I've also published papers on predicting asset prices that made a considerable impact in the field of behavioral finance and investing. But most importantly, I spent all these years studying markets and building the frameworks to outperform them, which ultimately allowed me to quit my job to pursue managing my own personal wealth full-time 4 years ago. So let's dive into the 10 things that you need to know if you've just got rich and you want to maintain your wealth forever. So firstly, don't spend yet. When people come into sudden wealth, they make one big mistake. They start spending like they're invincible. New cars, big houses, expensive vacations, and before they know it, it's gone. So take a step back. Don't make any impulsive financial decisions for at least 90 days. And this is for 2 reasons. Firstly, it gives you time to settle on your emotions. You see, access to wealth alters the brain's reward system. It decreases its risk sensitivity and increases impulsivity. So sure, start looking at all the things that you'd like to buy, the homes that you'd want or the cars that you'd like. This is a great time to start visualizing how you'd like your life to be, and we can get to that later. But first, you want to use this time to set up your game plan. And that leads us to the second point. Not spending your money just yet gives us time to set up the game plan first. So think of it like this. You wouldn't go running a marathon without some training. Your goal is to make smart decisions, not emotional ones. Now, the second thing you need to do is you need to assemble your wealth protection team. New money attracts 2 things, opportunity and, unfortunately, sharks. You need 3 people in general. This will be your trusted team chosen by you. You need an investment manager who protects and grows your wealth. Without a good investment manager, your wealth can deteriorate over time through inflation, bad investments, or even just missed opportunities. You need someone who actively builds and adjusts a portfolio specifically for you, based on where the best opportunities are, and not just a mix of lazy index funds. Someone who treats your capital as their own and keeps you ahead of the curve. Now, you also need a tax specialist, someone to take care of all your tax affairs, but also, more importantly, optimizes how much money you keep from your investments and your business profits. It's not just about what you earn, but it's also about what you keep. And then finally, you want a lawyer to protect what you have. Wealth can sometimes create new risks, such as lawsuits, disputes, family issues. A good lawyer will help shield your assets, pass them on efficiently, and stay protected against threats that you don't even see yet. To find suitable people can be a difficult task. For example, having been in the investment world for over 12 years, I've seen, for example, how financial advisors are specifically trained on old finance theories that used to be true decades ago, but now these theories achieve below average results for their clients because everybody's using them. These financial strategies are diluted, and when everybody is using the same method of analysis in a market, the market adapts. Financial markets only rewards those who can look or find a unique edge or something different that they can see in the market that others can't. But once everyone starts applying the same financial techniques, the possibility of outperformance starts to dwindle. And you see, most financial advisors don't have to care about that performance of your capital because it's not always their job, since what most of them actually do is outsource your money to another investment fund and then tell you it's personalized based off of your risk tolerance. What most financial advisors don't realize is this concept of adaptive markets, and that when everyone is using the same investment strategies, it creates higher downside risk and below average returns. So how do you find a good team? It's probably the most difficult task you'll find once you've acquired wealth. But if you can find it correctly, your life at that point becomes a lot easier. Finding the best people can be like a coin toss without the right approach. So use the same approach that I use when investing and working with uncertain outcomes. We want to stack the odds in our favor to give us the best edge or the best opportunities. So what you can do is reach out to some people in the same wealth bracket as yourself. Usually these people will have their own wealth team, which they can recommend to you if they find them useful. Now, don't just take one person's recommendation. Remember, we want to improve our odds of success, so we're going to play the statistics game. So take as many recommendations as you can from as many people as you can. See if any company has been mentioned more than once. Then you want to set up meetings with these people and then choose the one that seems to best suit your needs. I'd like to highlight how important it is to meet multiple different people, since having more options gives you more power. Now, thirdly, don't tell everyone you're rich. When people find that you've come into wealth, you may start seeing long-lost relatives, business opportunities, and guilt trips start to appear. The optimal decision to decrease the amount of problems that may creep into your future is to keep it quiet. Only share the fact that you have wealth with the people that need to know, like your spouse or your financial team. Now, you can show it off, but just be aware that it can bring problems such as being guilt-tripped at the least to having security concerns at the most. Now, number 4, pay off toxic debt, but not all debt. High-interest debt, credit cards, consumer loans, they absolutely eat wealth. So if you have any loans like that, you want to pay them off immediately. But some debts, such as low-interest real estate, or some business loans can actually work in your favor, and it can make more sense to keep your cash invested rather than paying off debt. There are many strategic hacks that we can implement that might seem counterintuitive, and this is one of them. We can even use debt to reduce your tax burden. These are the things that you need your wealth manager to be optimizing for. If this knowledge would be useful to you, comment below if you'd like me to cover this concept in another video. Anyways, a general rule is that you should pay off any loans that have an interest rate above 10% as quickly as possible, unless there's a strategic reason not to do so. Now, if you have any loans with an interest rate below 3%, keep them. It's much smarter to pay them off in smaller installments rather than paying them off early with a lump sum. This is because your cash is worth more working for you in investments where you can easily earn a higher interest rate than the interest rate that you're paying on the debt. Now, regarding any debt with an interest rate of between 3 and 10%, this is going to be more specific to your own personal circumstances. Speaking generally, it probably makes more sense to pay that debt off early, but again, it's going to be more specific to your own circumstances. Now, number 5, you need to set up your investment plan. Money sitting in a bank account is losing a lot of value due to inflation. It's a silent wealth killer because you don't actually see the value decrease, since everything around you is priced in that currency anyways. So, smart investors put their money to work. Stocks, bonds, real estate, and alternative assets. But investing blindly is dangerous. This is where a good investment manager helps you create a diversified plan that captures as much growth while also, and more importantly, protecting against the downside. All while keeping capital available for you to capture the next best opportunities when they strike, and for keeping your living expenses available. So sit down with your investment manager and get this sorted. A good investment manager is hard to come by, but if you do get a good one, they'll not only be able to protect your wealth, but also be able to grow it much more so than your typical financial advisor. If you're interested in looking into Seneca Private for your investment needs, click the link in the description or visit senecaprivate.com/apply. Now, number 6, you need to get smart about taxes. You need a tax strategy. Trusts, tax residency, charitable giving, tax-efficient investments, anything to keep more of your money legally. Think about it. Let's say you make $1 million in income this year. Now, in many Western tax jurisdictions, you'll only be left with, let's say, $600,000 after tax. But with the right tax strategy, you can end up keeping, let's say, $800,000 of it, or in some cases, all of it. This is why high net worth individuals hire a tax strategist. Your taxes should be structured efficiently. Otherwise, your money's just going to be wasted. Number 7 is make a will and protect your assets. If something happens to you, where does your money go? Now, if you don't decide that, the government will. So set up a will or perhaps a trust and estate planning so that your wealth is protected for the long term. Don't let your sudden wealth turn into sudden loss. So that means trusts, offshore accounts, and legal structures to make sure that your money doesn't disappear in a lawsuit or bad inheritance planning. You worked for it, so don't let somebody else take it. So you should talk to a lawyer about setting up an asset protection strategy. Now, number 8 is protect yourself from bad investments and scams. When you have money, scammers see you as a target. Fake investments, shady deals, and even friends who suddenly have a business idea. If someone says you need to get in on this now before you miss out, you need to take a step back. You should never dive into anything that's pitched like that. You should run everything through your investment manager. Now, by the way, this is a unique benefit to working with Seneca Private as your investment manager. Unlike other investment managers, you can forward us all or any investment opportunities that you're presented with for a true second opinion. Another benefit of actually having an investment manager is that you can tell anyone who's looking for money from you that your money is tied up in assets held with your investment manager and that you don't have quick access to cash in that moment, therefore taking away a lot of the guilt that may appear when someone you know starts asking for money or presenting you with an investment opportunity that you really don't want to get involved in. Sudden wealth makes you a target. Old friends or distant relatives all suddenly may want a favour. And here's the kicker. Many bad investments and deals don't always come from strangers. They can come from people that you know. So you need a clear financial policy. Who gets money, who doesn't, and how you say no. And number 9, you want to prioritize health and longevity. Money is useless if you're not healthy enough to enjoy it. So consider investing in fitness, your health, mental well-being and preventative healthcare. Your body is your most valuable asset, and so you should treat it like one. Personal trainers, nutritionists and regular checkups should be part of your new lifestyle. And number 10, prepare your dream life. Now you've made it, you've achieved financial freedom, and now you can decide exactly how you want to live your life. So it's important to begin to reflect on the things that actually make you tick. If you build your wealth through entrepreneurship, perhaps you might want to consider launching a new business. It's important to give yourself some purpose. When I achieved financial freedom, I decided to spend my mornings focused on investment management, and in the evenings, I could focus on my other personal interests and hobbies, and overall, travel the world while I'm doing these things. You can use this time to find your own calling, your own interests. It literally can be anything, and it doesn't have to be monetizable. Oscar Award winner Daniel Day-Lewis moved to Florence, Italy and became an apprentice shoe cobbler. You can do anything. So if you suddenly got rich, this can be quite overwhelming. I help people just like you to protect, invest and grow their wealth wisely. So if you'd like to learn more about how Seneca Private can protect your wealth, build your investment strategy and let you relax knowing that your capital is working for you, click the link in the description or visit senecaprivate.com/apply, and I'll see you in the next video.